What's up? It's your boy D Change coming at you with another Daily Dave. Today's topic is a question, and that's how do you recharge? Or I guess what do you do to recharge? This I'm asking this question because this past week has been pretty exhausting. Um, a lot of news media, a lot of Twitter threads, a lot of information overload, and a lot of sorting out my emotions and how I feel and how I interpret things. A lot of trying to, figure out the truth. Seeing a lot. Obviously, I am biased in a more like, I guess liberal, left leaning sense. Like a lot of the media I do consume comes from that kind of angle. I try to balance it out at times. But I think I know where I sit on things, and I think that's important. I think everyone should have principles that they stand by, right? Anyway, but yeah, it's been exhausting, and I'm my friend and we are not gonna do our live podcast on Sunday that we normally do. If anything, we feel like we should just I don't know if it's like silence in respect, or more like we're both overwhelmed and we would like to just kind of take that break, right? If anything, we might just chat about where to take the show in the future, or like what we're gonna kind of figure out from there. But yeah, I've been having a lot of conversations with people, and really it's good. It's good to be able to have a long and nuanced conversation. I know there's a lot of charged emotions. I know it's the time is right. Strike while the iron is hot, but yeah, at the same time, we do want to cool our heads down and kind of figure out like a solutions plural, a path forward, multiple paths forward, and I guess like set ourselves up for the future, right? Really figure out our systems, figure out what we're gonna do, to contribute to change, or really contribute to making the world a better place, pretty much. So otherwise, yeah, the reason why I ask about recharging is because someone had messaged me and said like, oh, I hear nature helps, and like when you're not feeling good. And yeah, actually that's generally true. We might be living in these urban super cities and stuff like that. Some of us are more in the suburbs, some of us are in the countryside. But the reality is, our relationship with nature has only changed this much in the recent future. If we were to think about our ancestors, yeah, we've been in closer proximity to nature before, and before full-blown civilizations, we were completely part of it. I am reminded of the time I lived in Tokyo, and one of my favorite things to do is to go to Meiji Jingu, or Meiji Shrine. It's a Shinto shrine. It's the most famous one in Tokyo. It's where the Meiji Emperor is enshrined. That's a really cool place because it's a major shrine, but it's inside a forest inside the middle of the city. So it's a really cool contrast. When you get off the train station at Harajuku Station, you take the Omotesando exit. This is all probably going to change because they officially announced that Harajuku Station will be torn down and rebuilt. So a little bit sad about that, because it's like the last wooden station that still stands to this day in Tokyo. But yeah, you take that exit and you round around the corner, and all of a sudden you see kind of like a forest, and like the what do you call it, the gate, the Tori gate. So it's like it looks like pi to some people, I think. So it's the two columns, and then at the top you have kind of this like arched crown looking top. And so you go past that, and you walk along a path into this forest. It's a small forest, honestly, because you can hear like construction and train sounds every now and then. But at some point, you can go deep enough where where you do feel a sense of escape. And there's an alternate path that I feel like not a lot of people know about, because most of the time you go directly to the shrine, and then there's like a path that leads out to, I believe, Yoyogi Park. But there's another path that branches off, and admittedly, it looks like you're not supposed to go there, but if you branch off, you actually end up in this kind of a park. It's got a couple of hills. There's like a very small body of water, like a pond, and yeah, it's this park that you can just kind of chill at, and it's still a shrine. It's still like a sacred, it's still sacred ground. So I've seen like I don't know if they're police officers or like park rangers, but they'll tell people like, oh, please be respectful. Do not play frisbee in this park, or do not do you're not supposed to like just have a picnic there or something like that. It's still like a religious ground. So but like I think taking a nap there is acceptable, and so I've done that before, and yeah, just hanging out there is fine, and that's really cool. But that was my like super peaceful place. And from that park you can see the canopy of the forest, and then there's a few, like you can see some of the tall buildings in the distance of Tokyo. But otherwise, yeah, it's like it feels like you really escape from everything else, and it's incredible. And even just I remember walking through there with my friend who I consider my mentor figure, because he's my former manager from when I was still in college. I took him and his wife there, and he said, yeah, you can even feel like either a sense of calm, or like the temperature is cooler because of all the plants, all the trees. And yeah, arguably like when you're walking through a forest, you're absorbing like way more oxygen, so it kind of calms you down. So yeah, that was by far probably my favorite thing to do when going into the city. If I didn't have that opportunity, ironically, I did end up going to Harajuku a lot because of that. But if I didn't have the opportunity to go to the city, because I lived about like door to door an hour away from like central Tokyo. But what that really means is like I had an express train that could take me basically into Tokyo within like 35 to 40 minutes. But if you include the walking, like walking from where I live to the train station and then walking to wherever you need to be in Tokyo, it could take an hour, you know? So anyway, in that area though, and I guess I can say where it is now because it doesn't matter. I lived in a city called Kodaira, and it's in Western Tokyo. It's still incorporated in Tokyo, and the train station I live near is called Hanakogane, and it's famous for I believe it's near Kogane Park, but like it's not super close to it. Some people know of like some schools around there. Otherwise, I don't think there's anything super famous there. So it's some people know of it, and then other people are just like, I don't, I have no idea what you're talking about. If you want to map it from like the Chuosobu line, it is about an hour's walk north of Musashi Kogane, I believe. That's where Kogane Park is actually. So if anything, yeah, you'd have to take a bus to like get there quicker. But the walking I experienced because one time I missed last train, and yeah, I Pokemon Go'd my way through that summer night. Anyway, that's a story for another time. Yeah, if I didn't get that chance, in the train path from like Hanakogane to Kodaira Station, which is further out west, and even past that, there's a bike path that runs parallel to the train tracks, and it's really close. And what's super interesting about it is where I lived like sat really close to kind of like the train tracks and the bike path, so I could actually go outside and then walk for like literally a minute or less, and I'm at the train tracks, and then you cross the train tracks and then you see this bike path. Like some people can, like, you can walk on one side of it, and then there's an actual like paved path for bikes that are meant for bikes. And I've run on that path before, and I've walked it to like go to KFC or something like that, or go to a supermarket or something. I didn't have a bike, so I didn't ride a bike there, but yeah, I use that path a lot. And one reason why is because it's actually surrounded by trees. Like they kind of purposely planted trees along the sides all the way down. So in the fall and in the spring, it looked really great because then the all the flowers are blooming, or like in the fall all the leaves are red. It's an incredible sight. It's like you're in this kind of tunnel of nature. And I feel like that's like absolutely done on purpose. And yeah, that like I definitely feel like when I was down, and this happened a lot unfortunately. When I was down, I would go walk down that path, and I might not have felt like super like great, or like I don't know, but I definitely felt better. It was nice to just kind of, especially late at night, just walk down there, um, enjoy the really fresh air outside, because you weren't as in the like the city as much back. I mean, I don't know. Like Japanese suburbs are actually pretty, like they're a little boring, but they're also kind of nice in the sense that you still have some semblance of like you're still connected to the city from the public transit. I don't know. It's a different way to live. I didn't have a car, so I can't truly do a one-to-one comparison. But yeah, like there were times where I felt super bored, and I would just be like, yeah, I'm just gonna go for a walk, or I feel like I need to get outside, so I'd walk for half an hour, or something like that, and it was fantastic. It was like, I think one time I tried to see how far I could go, and I think I might have ended up at a second train station or something like that. But yeah, it was really nice. It was super nice. And yeah, I guess I just miss having something like that. Like it's so simple to think about. Like it's this like bike path that's like covered in foliage. I don't really have anything like that where I live now. So like the best I can do is like I've got a local park. I could drive to a larger park, but our bike path is it's very barren. It's you're definitely gonna get sunburnt. I wouldn't walk it at night, like so that was a big difference actually. In Japan, in Tokyo, I was just I always felt free to walk around at night. uh Safety was pretty high. Just put in my earbuds, wired back then too. I didn't have wireless ones. Just put in my earbuds and walk and listen to podcasts at 2 times speed, maybe 3x. At that time I was trying to like train myself to listen faster. I don't know. But yeah, it was incredible. It was just I think that really helped me. I mean, it helped change the scenery for me. And so that I think that was like at the very least what I needed during those times. And yeah, it's true. I think I felt I think I felt better being in nature. And so in a way, originally I was saying, yeah, like this whole quarantine thing or staying at home thing, totally doable. It's how I live my life anyway. But there is a big difference between doing this in a way because you have to. We're not being forced to necessarily, unless you, besides counting like curfew and certain situations that have been like happening. But yeah, there's a difference between like feeling like you have to do it versus you get the choice to, like yeah, if I had the choice, like if I just stayed at home because I wanted to, but then I just thought, oh, I just want to go out for a walk and just do my own thing, but it wasn't like the best thing to do, yeah, I would feel bad about it. I mean that's how I feel right now. Like I wish it were a case of, yes, I'm just gonna work from home and do a lot of stuff from home, but every now and then I get to go out. Obviously that's ideal. Other people might be more social or want to go out a lot more. I mean, I miss going out. Yeah, I miss going to restaurants. I miss going to hangout spots, and I miss seeing my friends in person. So, yeah, like we're all clearly going stir crazy or getting cabin fever and stuff like that. So, anyway, I gotta make sure I get some more sunlight these days. I haven't been doing my regular walks. I've just been honestly been exhausted. I would rather just like nap after work or something like that than to go and do my normal routine. So I know I'm slipping. That those are signs. See, again, that's how you can tell. Uh, you get the signs that you're slipping, and so the action you take is you course correct. You gotta steer yourself back into the line that you wanted to be in, or make adjustments. So yeah, I gotta be we all gotta cut ourselves some slack. Like things are just kind of crazy. So, you know, don't judge yourself too hard. But yeah, if you do want to go out there and protest, like please do so safely. Take care of yourself, and yeah, make sure you, your family are safe and are in good health. Make smart decisions. Don't do anything too dumb, or try not to. I guess just think twice before you do stuff, right? It's always like, should I do this? Is it worth it? You know, should I drive this car faster than I need to? No. Yeah, you shouldn't. That's the answer, right? But I get it. You know, adrenaline takes over a lot of times, emotion takes over and stuff like that. So anyway, yeah, I hope you actually, yeah, I'm curious as to what people do when they feel like they're exhausted or just wiped out from certain things, and they just feel like they need to recharge. So I'm putting it out there. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say about that. Otherwise, I hope you have a good one. And again, stay in good health, stay safe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out, guys.